What the? There are stars in this picture. This is a picture from lunar orbit. That's the Earth on the horizon. And here are 3 stars in the view. Now, if you can't see them, change the angle to the screen or maybe go full screen. Oh, and there's something else. It's probably just a smudge. And just think, unlike Jarrah White's Gemini 8 photo, where enhancement was needed to see a dot, there wasn't any enhancement needed in my picture at all. And for those who might complain that my picture is taken from lunar orbit, I offer this, a picture taken from inside the LEM on the surface of the moon. But to tell the truth, these aren't stars, and neither is Jarrah's dot. I use these pictures to demonstrate a point. Each of them was taken within seconds of another picture of the same field. So now we can do a side-by-side comparison. This is the one that showed the dots. Now watch closely as we flip back and forth between one zoom in and the other. Now you see them, now you don't. Now you see them, now you don't. Now let's take a look at the 2 pictures taken within seconds of each other from the surface of the moon. In this picture, we don't see the same stars as in this picture. In fact, we see other stars. But, as before, these aren't stars at all. They're just defects that occurred during the photographic process. Here we have a nice ground reference in the foreground as we alternate between shots. There have been occasions when other celestial objects have been photographed from the surface of the moon. Here is the Earth. And there is one occasion where NASA is claiming that something else was photographed. It was Venus, photographed by Alan Shepard. This photo was taken from the dark side, the shaded side of the LEM, looking upward toward the Earth, which you can see is greatly overexposed. I can't see Venus in this photograph, but NASA did an enhancement which shows it. In the past, I have done photo offset lithography, and in that process, one of the standard steps is to opaque out pinholes in the photographic line negative before exposing plates with them. These kinds of errors occur in photography all the time, and really nothing much should be made of them. Nor can one use modern, digitally enhanced photographs and videos to show that stars should appear in Earth orbit as well. They did not have this technology during the Apollo missions, and they did not go to photograph stars. Also, one last thing, watch out for artists' concepts and graphic renderings using computers. Many of them look very realistic, and stars have been added for effect. But even some of these artists have gone for higher reality by painting in few stars or none at all. The last gasp argument of conspiracy theorists is that the astronauts should have raved over the stars, whether cameras showed them or not. Without our even realizing it, the eye also adjusts exposure depending on the amount of light. Sit in a dark room a few feet away from a window so that you can see some stars out of it. Now have someone turn on a light. Just that light reflected off the walls will make your eyes adjust and the stars will disappear. The astronauts didn't see stars for the same reason, only their surroundings were much brighter than the inside of a room lit by a couple of light bulbs. making it even harder for them to see stars. The rare star, which might be found in some non-digitally enhanced Earth orbit photos, is not enough to debunk the entire Apollo space program. All of the pictures that you see for the rest of this video were taken in Earth orbit. None of them show the Earth, and none of them show stars. They are just like the ones we see from the moon. If you look closely, though, you might see some dots. For all you die-hard conspiracy theorists who just have to see those brilliant, magnificent stars in Earth orbit that Bill Casing promised you, they've been right in front of your nose all along.